Greetings. All right, family, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone is doing all right. And this is a very unique kind of different kind of show because coming normally come on Monday and Wednesdays. But anyway, this is Professor Griff right here on Black Power Media Reloaded. Shout out to my man Kalanji. All right, doing his thing. All right. I want to dedicate this show today. I want to dedicate this show today to our sister, Assata Shakur. Once again, greetings. This is Professor Griffin. Of course, this is Black Power Media Reloaded. And this is your brother, Professor Griff. And shout out to Kalanji. Shout out to everyone that's participating in this particular discussion today. I do not take your time, your energy, your thoughts, and your spirit for granted. I'm not one of those individuals while I try to get my stand correct. All right. Anyway, we want to dedicate this show to our sister, Assata Shakur. I received a couple of messages in which I had to verify. I couldn't quite verify them off the rip because I had to call some people. The people I had to call, some of them overseas. Some of them are still resting. Hold on. Assata Shakur, 1947 to 2025, age 78. All right. She passed away September 25th. What's up? Yeah. Yeah, you want to come on? Come on, you can't. You want me to turn this camera around? Okay. Why would you need?
I was going to say to her.
Oh. All right. Assata Shakur, 1947 to 2025, age 78. She passed away September 25th in Havana, Cuba. All right. Not behind bars, not under U.S. control. She lived free for nearly 5 decades, despite being one of the FBI's most wanted. She lived and died on her own terms. She won. What I'm going to need everyone to do is put Assata's name, depending upon your African accent, Caribbean accent. Some say Assata, some say Assata. Regardless of how you want to say it, put her name in the comments. Assata. If you do not know who she is, take your time right now to look her up. Doc, what's good with you, man? What's good with you? Can we put Assata in the comments? Can we put Assata in the comments? Hold on. While we putting Assata in the comments, before this thing die, I better plug the daggone thing up. Hold on, fam. It's ugly. Ugly. Man, that was a long trip. Forgot the blicky. Forgot the daggone charger. Computer about to die. All right. I apologize for that. All right. All right. Can everybody put Assata in the comments? I really appreciate that. All right. And when we said dedication to someone, we're sending prayers, thoughts, condolences to the family, and we're also saying that we recognize and send out a certain energy that individual can make a smooth transition back home to the ancestral realm. All right. And we honor people that honored us. Honor people that, and if you're like that generation behind me, if you couple of generations behind me, all right, you might not even know who she is. And if it's hard for you to spell her name, just to do something simple as put her name, we're trying to invoke a certain kind of spirit and energy. Just do yourself a favor, get out of your own way, type her name. This is a spiritual thing, family. You may not be used to this. You may not know what's going on right now. Just participate. Put her name. All right. We call, when we pour libation, we call on the name of the ancestor. Put the name in the chat. I don't want a whole long sentence. I don't want dates, times, black power fist, peace signs, none of that. Put our sister's name. Can you do that? Something simple. Thank you, Phil Joyce. Thank you, John Trey. Thank you, Mr. Dark Horse. All right. Thank you, Irie. Thank you. The One Chief God. Thank you. Johnny Combs. Thank you. Occult Lecturer. Thank you. Thank you to everyone on IG. Thank you. Now let's give a thought as to how you want to be remembered. All right. Hold on for a second, fam. This light is just like not happening. This light is not happening. This joint is right in the grill. Anyway. I don't know what that. Anyway. We got to back it up or angle it up or do something. Anyway. This idea of having to survive what she survived and ended up in Cuba and having to live her life the way she lived her life. All right. If you do not know the history and the story of Assata Shakur, please look it up. All right. Now, I'm not sure, and maybe John Trey and some other people that are on here might know. What is her relationship to Tupac? This is not my story today. I'm just taking a brief moment so I can work through what I'm working through in order to honor the sister. So, can y'all help me work through it? All right, let me turn on the light real quick. I'm trying to work through it. All right. I'm trying to work through it like most of y'all are trying to work through it. You may not be going through it like a lot of us are going through it simply because you didn't live in that time. Her story and what she went through is very close to me. We, Public Enemy, we mentioned her in our songs. Outside the context of the songs, we mentioned her. We mentioned the Black Panther Party. We mentioned the liberation struggle of Black people throughout the globe. All right. So I want to get with Kalanji to see if we could do a proper tribute or send off or virtual homegoing ceremony for the sister. All right. Brother said, brother said I was born in 1984. So yeah, you probably won't know. All right. Anyway, in any event, I want y'all to know when y'all start seeing the live lag and I lose connection and that kind of thing, that's them people having my signal go through them. They filter it, look at it, and then they send the signal to you. All right. Okay. Now we know how that works. Anyway, my subject today is identity crisis. All right. Identity crisis. I got sidetracked this morning. I did try to save the actual few things that I was watching that led me to this particular subject. All right. Dr. Khalid El Hakim in the Black History 101 Mobile Museum have laid out. I'm not sure I'm going to ask him if he's going to continue to move forward, laying out the wanted exhibit. And the wanted exhibit consists of stuff like this. This is her wanted poster. All right. Yeah. Assata Shakur said, it's our duty to fight for our freedom. It's our duty to win. We must love and protect one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains. So this morning, that kind of coincides with what I was watching this morning, which is very disturbing, the things that I saw. And last night, I saw, hold on for a second. Let me find it for you so I can show you or play it for you. Well, anyway, maybe y'all can help me find it.
Freedom and justice, social justice, political justice, economic justice for all people. I believe that oppressed people, wherever they are, have the right to self-determination. I believe that the priorities of this planet have to be completely changed.
Maybe y'all can help me find it. There was a young lady online which brought me to this particular subject. All right, I got it together, fam. I'm good. They brought me to this particular subject, identity crisis. I chose this particular subject today simply because I wanted to talk about and address those that are crashing out, Black people, Black women especially. And I've seen some Negroes crashing out over the Captain Kirk thing, and then they use it as as an opportunity to lash out at Black people. So I originally wanted to talk about the Stockholm syndrome. And if you're watching this and you're noticing the QR code up in the corner, if you could scan the QR code that's in the corner, I meant to bring that to your attention earlier as I trying to get it together. The QR code in the corner will lead you to this. Hold on. if it'll let me get to it. I think it might not. All right. Yeah, something is really going wrong here. They got my whole is sick looking chick. I'm talking about, yeah, little yellow bus licking the window with the helmet on chick. Okay, so she was talking about which comes first? She says black or Christian. So she is trying to get us to choose between whether we're black or whether we're Christian. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, that's mental illness. Then she goes on with a whole little A cups out, girth in her voice. I don't even see why this is even an argument or a discussion. If you don't see why it's an argument or a discussion, why did you put it up on Instagram? That's number two. Why did you put it up on Instagram? Why are you on Instagram talking about it? Now let's look into the aspects of mental health. All right. That led me, we're going to look into it in a second, but that led me to Frantz Fanon. Are you familiar with Frantz Fanon? I'm sure you are. Can you do me a favor real quick? Somebody put in the chat Frantz Fanon and put his book, Black Skin, White Masks. Can someone do that? Frantz Fanon. Of course, y'all see me this morning. I was rushing. I didn't get a chance to bring down Fanon's book or his work. I could pull it up right here. Black Skin, White Mask applies to an historical critique on the complex ways in which identity, particular blackness, is constructed and produced. I hope this young lady is listening. I hope she'll get this. She knows who she is. All right. You truly, really need to lay down on someone's couch, young lady. Because if you ever think that you're Christian before you're black, you have some mental illness happening. Way before there was a thing called Christianity, black people were here. Black people have been here, regardless of what our name was. All right. We didn't have to call ourselves black because there was no one else here but us. And there wasn't a race construct then. All right. So you could wake up tomorrow morning, young lady, and change your religion. You could become a Muslim and start studying Islam. You could wake up tomorrow morning or the day after and start studying Buddhism, Hinduism, You could change your religion, but you can't change your blackness. Most of y'all try to, and I saw a Negro on an interview. He said, I'm not black. I'm just, I am. I'm just, wow. I heard some Negroes, actors and actresses and rappers and some other people stake that same claim. You will do anything not to be black, anything not to be African, anything not to be all of those things that we identified ourselves as. Probably not African. That's what somebody else identified us as. That wasn't the original name for that landmass. That's another conversation. You can change your religion any day of the week. You could take a week off and not do anything Christian-like. But you'll still be black. Black skin, white mass, Frantz Fanon, applies to the historical critique on the complex ways in which identity, particular blackness, is constructed and produced. Fanon confronts complex formations of colonized psyche or psychic constructs of blackness. Fanon confronts complex formations of colonized psychic constructs of blackness. He applies psychoanalysis to explain the feelings of dependency and inadequacy that black people experience, especially when you're trying to fit into a world, a society, a group that systematically rejects you because you're black. You want people to see past your blackness, but they want you to recognize their whiteness. They'll never mention it because the system works for them and against you. And I've heard Negroes, Officer Tatum and some other flunkies talk about what can a white man do that I can't do? Palantir, Google, PayPal, Oracle, World War. Send that to Officer Tatum. What can a white man do in America that you can't do as a black man? You Negro sound silly. Silly. A white man can organize a militia with or without white hoods on and terrorize black people for hundreds of years. Can you do that? How about you organize a damn Boy Scout club and sell fucking Girl Scout cookies? You can't even do that. You can't build your own town and city and live happily ever after. They'll burn it down. You can't think for yourself. You can't take your own money, put it together with other black people so we can get land that we can call our own and set up our own towns and govern ourselves. You as a black man can't do that. You may try to do that, but you know the consequences and you'll know what would happen to you. You can't go on college campuses throughout America and talk bad about white people. And you can't have a talk show and talk bad about white people. And then they give you $92 million a year. There's a lot of things white men can do that you can't do. Stop the foolishness, man. Stop deceiving young people like that. We're talking about identity crisis. And some of these Negroes need to kind of figure out the first thing. Who are you? Now I'm asking you, who are you? Not where you work. Who are you? Not the job that you do, not the clothes that you wear or where you live or the car you drive. Who are you? This is the first thing that we had to learn. We had to get knowledge of self. One of the first things we learned, and some of y'all on here have been through the 5% nation of God's earth. Some of y'all have been through the ranks of the Nation of Islam. And we were asked the question, who was the original man? And the answer is I'll wait. I'll wait. And while I'm waiting, I went up on the young lady's post. Hold on. My brother Saul Williams. Hold on.
I just received word on the passing of Assata Shakur. I just want to say how crucial it is for us to continue to study and learn from Assata for all that she has represented for so many of us, for the pain and triumphs of her journey, for the lessons that she has taught us about the hypocrisy of the experiment that is called the United States, which is a failed experiment. For what she has to say about U.S. imperialism, for those who question why it is important for us to question the United States' role, not only within its borders, but outside of its borders, its sanctions on Cuba, its destabilization in places like the Congo, Sudan, its ongoing genocide in Gaza.
I'm going to listen to that later on so I can finish this show with you guys. But I need young people to understand what Assata Shakur meant to us as a people. And I'm saying that because this young lady, which led me to my discussion, this young lady claiming that she's Christian before she's black. Because then we can take that deep dive into the Bible that you claim is your book, or the man that you claim is your God. We can kind of dive into that. All right. So to answer that question that we were asked, who is the original man? The original man is Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth. 5%ers say, Father, civilization, God of the universe. You had to first know who you are. And young people, y'all don't get these lessons. You have no gurus. You have no elders. You don't respect anyone. You don't sit at the feet of teachers. All right. This is why you're so reckless online. This is why you can pick up your cell phone, but because you have one, all right, you could just come online and say anything reckless. And you expect people like me that when I see it, not to check your silly ass. So what I did was I offered a challenge. I said, I'll give you $1,000 if you could prove anything of what you're saying is true when it comes to you being Christian first before you're black. I've been offering $1,000 for the last 3-4 days. I got no answer. Y'all might not like what I'm about to say, but y'all know to a degree I don't give a fucking rat's ass. And this is something that we would normally say in private, but you know, sometimes people say with older people and young children, we have no filter. I think I'm moving towards that. Thank you, KM. Well, that's what I said to them. That's what I said to them in the chat. This old hack, you know, the old box of goddamn what do you call it? Girl Scout cookies that you forgot to eat after you bought them, and they sat around for a year, and then you decided to open them. Nah. All right. It reminds me of that. It just reminds me of this whole MLK Jr.'s niece speaks on people calling Charlie Kirk a racist. With all due respect, whatever your goddamn name is, sit your raggedy ass down some goddamn where. I think David Banner was right. David Banner said that generation need to sit the fuck down and just die off somewhere. Y'all are seriously holding black people back with this old plantation politics that y'all got going on. Growing at the fucking feet of white slave masters' children.
While his family and this nation grieve, some are
We not
calling
fucking
him a
grieving?
racist, a white supremacist, even a fake Christian. Such accusations are conversations unbecoming to a.
Sit your ass down somewhere with that bullshit. Yeah. Sit your ass all the way the fuck down with that bullshit. Accusations. The man has a track record of disrespecting black people. A known track record. I'm hearing now from some of his classmates that he's always been that way in school. So I think Frantz Fanon was right when he talked about this idea of black skin, white masses. It delves into another concept, the Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome is a psychological phenomenon where a victim develops a positive feelings towards their captor or abuser despite being subjected to abuse or captivity. You love your slave master's children so much, all right? You start to develop a positive feeling towards them in your captivity. Listen, make a mental point of this, a mental note of this next point. If I told you that I love you and I wanted to use my mother tongue, why can't I? Mrs. Moore, I'm going to need you to answer that question for me. Lovely doll, answer that question for me. KM, anybody on IG, answer that question for me. Why can't I use my mother tongue to tell you that I love you? There wasn't no just basic lesson. Somebody sent me a message. That wasn't no just basic lesson that we learned. When we answer the question, who is? No, we had to break down everything in the lesson. Every single word we had to break down in the lesson. The definite article, original, from its origins, from the beginning. Everything else patterned after that. Man, then is, then the again, then Asiatic, then black man, then we weren't playing. Elijah Muhammad was teaching us to activate a certain part of our brain that this cracker done put to sleep. Elijah Muhammad, master teacher, knew exactly what he was doing. Thank you. Ari, thank you. The 1111 Gateway said the name Christian came from the enemies of Christ at Antioch. Well, I said the Antioch. Yeah, but it was at Antioch where the enemies of Christ called the people who believed on and in this so-called Jesus who never existed Christians. They didn't even call themselves Christians. So this chick is going to come along and say she was Christian before she was black. Wow. We're not doing that. No. 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 Yeah, on the slide, I'm trying to find the clip so y'all could see it or at least hear it. It's not gonna be. Not when I need it. Yeah. Anyway, the Stockholm Syndrome, the characteristics are positive feeling towards the abuser, empathy for abuser's situation, fear and distrust of authorities, inability to see the abuse or recognize it as harmful, identification with the abuser's goals and beliefs. Stockholm Syndrome. Look it up, family. Stockholm, Stockholm, syndrome, Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome. Do I have to get a timeline to show y'all when Christianity came on the planet? I'm sure y'all have that, though. Right? Thank you, King Simon. Last but not least, black people. Identity crisis. An identity crisis for black people can arise from the complex legacy of the transatlantic slave trade, with severe cultural ties to Africa. Did I mention there were some people in the comments talking about this young lady claimed on one of her other posts that she was never a slave, her people was never a slave, and she didn't come from Africa, she's not African. At the same time, she claims she went through a period of being pro-black. Can I say something without kicking up dust with too many people on here? Let's just say you didn't come from Africa, which a lot of y'all claim. Y'all are already here. Were you ever enslaved here by white people? Or you were just never enslaved? Can someone answer that question for me so I can move this forward? So you were never enslaved. You always spoke your native tongue, native dress, native religion, native traditions, right? Is this is true? Yeah? No? Help me out. Help me out. I'm trying to unravel the Stockholm syndrome. I'm trying to unravel what France Fanon. Hold on, let me finish reading this. This can lead to the feelings of disconnect from one's heritage, confusion about what it means to be Black, especially for young people navigating different racial and social environments. The crisis can manifest as a struggle to define authenticity, leading to alienation from both Africa and mainstream cultures here in America. Okay, Wale, you said some were and some were not. How do we know which ones were and which ones were not? And if the ones that were not, can you introduce me to them? Because I want to know what language they spoke. I want to know their customs and traditions and this kind of thing. And then why is this chick a descendant of them, claiming that she's Christian before she's Black? Where are these people that were not? Okay, fine. You weren't brought from Africa to America. Got that part. All right. Okay, you said you. Okay, what language do you speak? I'm going to make it easier for Mr. Wale. I'm going to give you the invite code. Then we're going to get back to our subject, but this is on our subject. Damn. Nope, not that one. Hold on. It's the wrong code. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. There you go, sir. I'm still waiting on my answer. While he's looking it up, and we're patiently waiting for him. Greetings, how you feel?
Oh, everything's hunky dory, man. I just had to knock off the. Ooh, I'm getting a reverb.
Yeah, you got to turn down a little. Your microphone is picking up your own speakers.
Is it still doing it?
No, I don't hear the reverb on your side.
Okay.
Right,
thank you very much. Trying to type that stuff. I was down to one word and 2 words, man.
Okay, so you're saying now. Hello?
I'm saying some were and some were not. You ask a question about being enslaved. Yes?
No. I got that part.
And I say some
I
were.
said the ones that were not, they were never enslaved, right?
Correct.
And I said I want to meet them. You said me, and you said meet me.
Of course.
So I'm meeting you, and I want to ask a series of questions, real quick, short answers.
Go ahead.
Is that cool?
1 and 2 words, if I can.
All right, cool. What's your native language?
Truth.
That's an English word.
Truth.
But that's an English word.
You asked me, what is my native language? My native language is truth. We may speak 5 or 6 different. Listen, okay, go ahead. Go ahead. You can do your thing.
Yeah. I asked if I could just get short answers because
I gave you a short answer. True.
No, yeah, but I'm asking you another question give me a short answer to the other question.
What's the other question?
Huh?
What's the other question?
I said the word truth is English. So how did you go from your native? So you're saying truth is the name of the language? Can I look that language up?
Oh, truth is the essence of the language, not the name. We're speaking English. So in
Okay.
English, I'm responding to you in English.
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm asking. I want to speak. I want you to tell me what your native language is.
Truth. No matter what lingo you put it into, as far as like you're talking about English, German, Swahili, it's still going to be truth. We
Okay.
are normally, okay, go ahead.
That's not what I'm asking you, sir. I'm asking you,
That's it is.
what is your native language? I'm not asking you to
Then
describe what aspect of the language. I'm asking you, what is the language?
the language is truth. The language of my ancestors. I'm
I'm not doing that. I can't. I just can't. I can't. No, 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 no. We're not doing that. No, we're not. I can't do it. Stockholm syndrome. Identity crisis for Black people can arise from complex legacy of the transatlantic slave trade, which severed cultural ties to Africa, and the ongoing impact of systemic racism and negative media portrayals. I am truly your brother. Don't take my laugh as disrespect to anybody, especially him. I got 7 questions. It's normally 9. I asked the 7 whys, the 1 how, and then I leave the 9th one open. I asked basic stuff. Give me short answers so we can dialogue. Family, I'm going to say it again. I'm sure, like you have, I've studied Fanon. Some of the younger people that are on here don't even know who Frantz Fanon is. Like you don't know who Assata Shakur is. Got you. Black skin, white mass applies a historical critique on the complex ways in which identity, particularly Blackness, your identity, is constructed and produced. Fanon confronts complex formations of colonized psychic constructions of Blackness. Someone else constructed your Blackness. If we didn't call it Black, the names that we named the places were Black.
What's up, brother?
One day, me alone.
How you doing, sir?
I'm wrestling with this, with the transition of our sister. She called Shakur.
Yeah, man.
But
Yes.
I'm just trying to talk to people in a very plain, basic,
I know.
bold font, simplistic, and I'm trying to work my way through black skin, white mask, France Fanon. I'm trying to work my way through Stockholm syndrome. I'm trying to work my way through identity crisis. I'm trying to work my way through this extra tampon that's online talking about we're Christians before we're black. Stop the blood clot crying. What the fuck? No,
My brother.
please help me.
My brother. Hey,
Ah,
you're a public,
right?
you're a public enemy, sir. You're a public enemy, sir.
Thank you.
Brother. I mean, I understand what the last caller is trying to say with truth, no matter what language it is, but you still, every original person or melanated person had a language prior to slavery and colonialism. So when you
Thank you.
ask,
Damn.
when you ask a question, we get into semantics, we get into all kind of philosophies we've been taught over the years. That's cute. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. At least, what is the indigenous language here? There was one, but many of us don't speak it. In the Americas, that's like, and then when you start looking at linguistics, you'll find that there are going to be connections throughout all of the different parts of the world. You know, so I commend you, sir. I will salute, original salute for your for you doing that. And respect to the brother that came on with the truth. Like Delbert Blair used to say, there is no truth until you decide what truth is. So if that's his truth, beautiful. But you said exactly, it's an English word. Okay, what is truth in the Swahili language? What is truth? The word truth in the indigenous language, or the Inuits, or the what you call the Indians out here. What is truth? What language are they speaking? From the Lenape and those different families, not tribes, families. What is the word truth is?
Right.
How did they say it? I mean,
Right.
Jamaica has the Arawak and the Maroons. I don't speak Arawak. I'm from Jamaica, and my grandmother and mother them been saying I was from Arawak and Maroons all my life. I don't speak their language. We speak what we've been conquered to speak.
And that was my point. So her mind has been conquered, and she says she's a Christian before she's black. I'm like, no, you're not, sis.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. So we have an issue with this identity crisis. We have an issue with Stockholm syndrome. And I read what the definition of Stockholm syndrome is. Yeah, somebody texted me and said, Griff, so what if you're a devout Christian? What? No, you became a Christian. No, you were born black.
If Christian had a start date, then you became that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it had a beginning. What came before? Go ahead.
Right. Thousands of years before Christianity was even a thing. Then I said, well, who is this leader of this Christianity thing?
Right.
Tongue-tied, her and her cronies called me a few names. I was an old ass, got you. Answer the question. So KM put it on the chat today.
Right.
We weren't even Christians. That Jesus wasn't a Christian. The followers of Jesus got called Christians by their enemies at Antioch.
Acts. In the book of Acts, it talks about that.
Okay. So then were you black before that? So let me ask the question, were we black before the Bible?
Really?
Were we black? Were we black before the Quran?
Yes, we were.
Were we black before the Black Law Dictionary?
Yes. I mean, again, it's language. It's language. Now, in Kemet, it might not be called black. In Ethiopia, it might be called black. It's language. It is language. Until people start becoming linguistics and studying linguistics, now you'll know what the real, it's like love, but in Kemet it's called murder. You got agape love. You got amor. You got different languages in different regions of the world to love. We call it love here. Okay.
Right.
Some of the love that the Greeks talk about, I don't trust the love that the Greeks be talking about, because some of them is love, boy on boy love, girl on girl love.
Nah.
Yes, sir.
So I was just saying, of course we didn't use the term black. Someone sent me a message to say, you keep saying black, that's English. I said, well, I never claimed to speak any other language. You understand what I'm saying? When we say Kemet, what is the definition of Kemet? What is the definition of Egypt? What's the definitions that we use? It's all related to land of the black skin or the burnt skin people. Black people.
For us to be able to identify with it in this language. That's all that is. It might be burnt face. It might be, shadow tone, dark tone. It's just to relate to each other as simple as possible with language.
Now, in understanding language now, how do we have to communicate on the plantation? Then what did we have to do with the scripture in order to stay alive as a survival technique on the plantation? They had it in the slave Bible. We had to flip that and put our African thing in it so we could survive spiritually.
Oh yeah.
So how do we come through that process in order to end up here today? And then for you to turn around, because she was basically saying that her and what's the old chick, Dr. King's niece, basically saying that we should kind of basically praise Charlie Kirk.
Oh gosh, not that part.
Yeah, that part. I'm like, wow. Yeah, y'all got this whole listen, family, and I'm sure King Simon would attest to this. The idea and the concepts of Christianity that you stole and distorted and flipped and did the remix to, we had already incorporated that, not from what we got from them, but what they stole from us. So you could see aspects of what Christianity really truly is and how it's practiced on the continent of Africa. Thank you. We already had these concepts.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So we already had Islam before we gave it to the white Arab in order to civilize them. We've already had these things. But they use what they've stolen from us and did the remix to turn back on us to enslave us, not only physically, but mentally, and deeper than that on a spiritual level. And they have. I've even heard Muslims talking about they Muslim before they black.
Look, I mean, we've all watched Roots and those types of movies, and we knew the importance of taking away languages. They look cultural. We knew the importance of why they did that, and that's what happened. We know what it was. So I don't get into those debates anymore, Professor Griff, because I'm too grown for that. That's a waste. I'm 58. I mean, I know you a little older than I am, but I ain't got no time for that. I did all that debating stuff back in the 80s. I did all that. So I don't do that. I don't waste my time on my channel even doing that anymore. Nah, I'm good.
So one of the persons that led me to her page left a comment on one of my shows, and it was basically saying that I'm big on this black thing, but do I have would I have the same empathy for other races? I said I've always have. Go look at the early days of Public Enemy. It wasn't no black people in the early days of Public Enemy in the audience.
That's right.
Those were all white audiences. Did we not shake hands and sign autographs and hang out and do all? Yeah, we did.
Everybody.
Everyone. Because that's who we are as a people. And then when I went to the sister page, she said she was pro-black. I said, sis, I got my phone in my hand. What city? I can make 2 phone calls to figure out who you are. What city? I never got a response, man. I said, how do you, in what city were you this pro-black, blackity black, blacker than black, blackity pro-black person in? What city? I said, I got peoples. What city?
Yeah, you're the minister of information, sir. You got people.
I got no answer.
You ain't gonna get that answer.
Anyway, moving on to bigger and better things.
Yes,
This
sir.
idea of identity crisis. Are you experiencing the same thing with people that you might meet that might come to you and want a reading? And the first thing you got to get past is the fact that they're not their true, authentic self. They're pretending and acting out someone else's life. You understand what I'm saying? I says, okay, how are you going to get a reading? And what if the reading pick up the fact that you're not even being you? How does that work?
It does pick up the fact, because I tell people, doing numbers, if everybody like to say numbers don't lie, numbers are objective, they're not subjective. And I tap right into understanding the positive and negative and what you are. I mean, I've had people that's transgenders call to do a session, and gay people, and they would ask me. I didn't want to go there. I could hear it in your voice already. I could hear certain things. But I didn't want to go there to see if the numbers would lead me to that, and what would happen, what happens in your early life that would even guide you towards that, or what happened in your father's or your mother's ancestry that even guide you for, because now we're discovering that people can be converted to that even through the foods and the waters that we drink. So I'm not under any illusions. I still got that whole diagnostic book on mental health and all that. I have all those books, studied all of them. So it's important that a session or a real legit numerologist or astrologist can point out your good and your bad and your indifference and through your numbers, because again, numbers don't lie. And I could tell you there's certain numbers in just in the frequency of its negative that can go down sexually, continual extra sexual stuff that they doing, and why they led them there, and what happened even in what their parents didn't do, or what their mama or daddy didn't do, or not having a daddy or mommy in their house, or not having a daddy in their house, what made them let down. A lot of people are like, oh, it's natural. I'm not with the whole you're born a gay and all that. I'm not with all that. But this is off the point. Let's not go down that road. Stay away from that, folks. I'm not with that, but I know something has happened either to your mother and father, or something is in your bloodline due to something that took place for you to end up this way, on talking that way or being that way. It was time for you to come out and reveal it on this planet through your mom and dad. Cool. They might have hid something from their past that you don't know, but it came out in you, or it comes out in your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, because you have to fight and battle this type of stuff in your mind and your thoughts. I had cousins that tried to come and approach me and I was like, nah, man, what's wrong? It felt strange, them even trying to above me. So I never went back to their house. It felt strange. So I never went back. So they kept whatever they're doing, they kept up with it. And then some of them end up dead, whatever, because of whatever they went through. That's their business. But nah, bro, we gotta know that these modalities, these spiritual modalities, reveal the spirit of the physicality. It reveals the spirit of the physical. Vice versa. That's why Dr. Khalid always used to say, the spirit and the physical work together. Right, you don't know the physics, because the spirit, you won't know the spirit, the physical, unless the spirit is working through it. You don't know it. You don't know the spirit of a woman or a man if it's not working through. That's energy. That's what spirit is, energy. That's another energy form. So,
right.
Man, I'm glad. Again, condolences to our dear sister Assata Shakur and the whole Shakur family. I met a few of the Shakur families back in the day. The ones that claim and took that Shakur family name. Tupac, of course, I met. Did security for. Afeni, I met. I never met Matulu. I wish I had met Matulu Shakur. But big up to that Shakur family. Those people that held on to that name and the power of that name.
Right.
It's a powerful name.
Right. And I wish people would kind of study the origin of that name.
Yes.
And the energy that name invokes when you say that name. You understand
That's
what I'm saying? It's very important.
Every name that they chose: Assata, Afeni, Matulu, Tupac, because we know Tupac goes back to indigenous times too, about Tupac. So I studied about him too. You know,
Right.
so when I met Tupac, I already knew the indigenous history of the name Tupac. So, man,
Right.
but I appreciate you, Griff. Keep on doing what you're doing. Don't get caught up in the madness.
Oh no, I'm navigating it. You understand what I'm saying? But I think I need to. You know, sometimes you catch a cold, and you didn't think about doing the necessary things in your regiment to continue to do those things to prevent yourself from catching the cold, because you may have lost track of time. Seasons are about to change. You didn't
Right.
herb up. You understand what I'm saying? You didn't quiet down. You didn't get enough rest. So the
Yeah.
cold started to hit you and you started to catch one. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's what happened to me when it comes to developing this degree of patience for young people's ignorance.
Mm. Mm.
They may get insulted when I say that, but it's a degree of ignorance. You can easily do some studying and figure out that question where you Christian before you black or Christian. You can figure that out easy.
Easy. I mean,
but you caught up.
Dr. Sabi said the worst disease was ignorance. The worst disease, ignorance.
Exactly. So what I tried to do is give them basic definitions that they could go look up. I'm not saying anything super deep.
Mm-hmm.
This is stuff that it's right here on my computer, right in front of me. You could put in black skin, white mask, Frantz Fanon. Yep. Pull up what he said, do a research. You could pull up Bobby E. Wright, the psychopathic racist personality. Yep. You understand what I'm saying? And do a basic study. You could look up Dr. Joy Leary, Joy DeGruy.
She lives right here. She lives out here in Georgia. She lives out here in Georgia. You know, you can do that.
You could look syndrome on Google.
Yeah.
You can do a comparative study, cross-reference, whatever, and you could figure out how sick you are.
Neely Fuller, Professor.
Yes.
Francis Cress Welsing. All of them you can look up. And let me say this to all of you out there, brothers and sisters, right here on Griff. Thank you very much for allowing me to come on Griff to say whatever I was saying, just to join the conversation. But we as elder brothers or sisters out there, not trying to stop you on your journey. We just want to enhance your journey with information to let you know that the names and faces have changed, but the game is still the same. It's still white supremacy. It's still dominating through that. And the 1% still rules the world, still doing it, still rules water. Sometimes it might even control what's happening, being put in our air and our food and all that. It's still happening. And I'm 58 years in, Griff is about 60 something years in, and our parents was years in, my grandfather was 100 or something years when he passed. We've been battling this over and over again. We need the younger generation to be able to flip the script and be able to do what they got to do. And they're doing it in their own way, but they just cut and paste, and you got to cross-reference now and study. And then most of all, study yourself after that. Study who you are. So I appreciate you, Professor Griff, for all you've taught us and done for us for the years. And we are working in what we have to do in this quote unquote life, called the lesson of life, called Earth in this plane. So thank you very much.
That's my religion, life. Shoot.
Right. Right. Life. Even Ziggy Marley sang that song. That's his love, and life is his religion, man. That's it.
Exactly. Right. So listen, I this Sunday, I'm teaching a preparedness class, man. I'm gonna send you the link. Come on in, check it out. I'm gonna send you the link ahead of time.
Okay.
To a couple of close people. There's one sister that hit me up. She said she was on your platform. She heard us talking the other day, and she was basically, I like what you had to say. I want your book. So I gave her the link for the birth, and just to let everyone know, this is the thing that I'm doing. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see. I'm writing it down myself right now.
Oh, let me get this other thing out of the way, the banner out of the way, or the comment out of the way. My computer is running slow. Readiness and preparedness. When the shit hit the fan, 3. Damn, I did
Yes, sir.
2 of these joints already. Hold on for a second. Let me hide this. It says prioritizing safety and preparedness. Do you have the essential supplies that you need to survive? When the grid goes down, disaster and preparedness, and I'm going to talk about self-defense fast, which is firearm safety training. This Sunday, 7 p.m. on private Zoom call. It's only $36. People can kind of join. They can hit me up. Hold on, let me get that banner out of the way so they can see either PayPal, Cash App, food stamps, whatever they got going on. We're gonna make it happen. All right. Hold on.
It is important.
Using food stamps, man. I just gotta accommodate them. My Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. Hold on. I'm trying to get that thing out of the way. 1 second.
Family, I was teaching disaster preparedness for 25 plus years, and I'll tell you, family, I stopped doing it because everybody is too reactionary and they're not proactive, and that's why I left it alone and just focus on myself and my family if they're open to it. I don't force nothing on none of them. I tell them what it is and keep it moving. You know, but
right, if you don't prioritize your safety and preparedness, when it goes down, yeah, ain't nobody coming to your aid, man. 911 is gonna be cluttered. No, you can't go to the ATM machine. You can't. Yeah, you can't go next door. They're not lending you bread and food and ammo and water. They're not doing it. First aid. They're not doing that.
Some people, Griff, some people don't even know how to fast. People don't even know how to fast. Nobody know how you have to pull water from a grass. You can pull water from grass if you know how to do it from an improvised and adaptable methodology that I learned years ago. You know, pulling water, extracting certain herbs, and making sure you're identifying with certain things. Starting a fire. I mean, I have flint, I have different things, but even the easiest things, even the ones that you might think is complicated, you'll find it's very simple if you really do it. I try to keep it simple, even when I was training with Aton and all that. Try to keep it real simple.
When is this book coming back out, man?
This new book is coming out. The one that we both of our names are in, that's coming out. It's just that he had to drop the publisher because they try to limit him and take out stuff. And so he's going to do it himself. He's going to do it. That's why it's taking a little bit longer. But he's supposed to be coming out the end of this month. Right? Matter of fact, probably on the 28th or going in. I'm going to call him after I get off the phone with you and find out.
That's the best way. And then I want to invite people to the House of Ogun, October 4th. Yeah. I'm going to have a deep discussion. Getting my tapping into my ancestralness a little bit deep so I could speak not to the ears and to the head of the people. I want to be able to speak to the heart. I put this book together called The Birth. You and I discussed it the other day on your platform. And I want to be able to lay it out to the people. You understand what I'm saying? I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's information worth getting and worth knowing. This concept centered around a birthing song.
Right.
Somebody hit me up listening to us the other day and they said, you know something? You're right. Music has been a part of my life. I said, yeah, we can't get around it. We can't deny it. It's there. What is your birthing song, though? Do you go that deep in your readings for people? Dealing with the numbers?
And mine is question driven, so I usually go with that question, and most of the questions is relationship and finance and all that. We don't go that. I can go that deep, but like I told you before about dealing with the Vesica Pisces and all that, I try to keep it to motivate. But our very heartbeat is music. So if you got a stethoscope, or you just put your hands, or you meditate and go in and close your ears, you could hear. And that's what Delbert Blair taught us, how to hear our own frequency, how to hear our heartbeat. It's a whole meditation we used to do it when I used to bring him to New York back in the day. And he showed me that meditation on, if you can't do it naturally without you can cover your ears like this, and you could actually start hearing your blood flowing and your heartbeat. Then you'll feel the rhythm. You know what rhythm is. Now, that's why Allah in the Quran, Allah said, I'm closer to you than your jugular vein. That's musical. That's musical. Because even the flow of your blood through your jugular vein is a music, just like when you listen to rain coming down and the wind blowing and the trees moving. That's musical.
Right.
You remember the music Tap when Gregory Hines stepped out into in New York City or Chicago, wherever he was, and he started tapping to the beat. He just started creating.
Yeah.
Everything, music is all around you. Then you start tapping and doing your thing. This is music. This is music.
We talking rhythm. Yeah.
We're talking rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man, thanks for you doing that, man. The birthing, we're birthing something every day as we get up, even in our sleep, even as we arise every day. That's why it's very important that you are grateful for getting up every day. Every sneeze that you do, you stop your heart. It's very important that you say, bless you, or be grateful that your heart continue to beat after you sneeze.
Yeah.
Whatever,
right. Whatever language you want to say that in.
Exactly. Really?
All right, good, bro.
Yo, my brother. Always good to see you, man. Peace and love, man.
All right, man.
All right,
peace.
Peace.
All right, peace. All right, that was King Simon. Glad to have him on as always. Yeah, I'm gonna get off here. What time is it? 1:20. All right, I got some things to do today. Anyway, regardless of what you think of your brother, Professor Griff, I am your brother, Tracy Johnson. What's good with you, man? Life is complex. I know. What's up? What's good with you? All right. Fly GVD45. What's good with you? Everybody on IG, Gary Winfield. What's happening? You disappointed? You're joining us? What's happening? What's good? Viva La Raza 71990. Man, you on point. Since when is a genocide supporter a political activist? This generation has no idea what the fuck a political activist is and is not. They don't have a goddamn clue. Thank you very much, sir. All right. It's your brother, Professor Griff. I got to get ready to get out of here. All right. Anyway, the House of Ogun. I'm talking about the birth. 4720 Bryce Drive, Union City. Saturday, October 4th, 1 to 4. It's donation based, so you can come up to the door with some food stamps or whatever, Captain Crunch coupons, or some advice. But try to have some money. It helps move things easier. In any event, it's your brother, Professor Griff. Make sure you go to. Hold on, let me put the banner up under where you could go to support. Let me see. Right here. Make sure you go to www.debbietribewellness.com. Support Soleil's music. She has the whole project out, the booklet, the album, the CD, booklet, album, with the booklet, this album, the wax, the CD. One thing I'm missing, which one? It's the booklet. All right. It's an album, wax, it's the CD. One other thing I'm missing, man. It'll come to me. www.debbietribewellness. Or look up I Am Soleil. Hit her up. The name of the project is Encoded. She's decoding a few things. Encoded Deluxe album is available now on Bandcamp. Go to Bandcamp. Look her up. All right. And please, can y'all do us a favor? We put out a dynamic project. Hold on. Let me put it in front of you so you can see it. We put out a dynamic project called Rebel Alchemy. Myself and Soleil. All right. Kind of went back and forth on 5 tracks, kind of laying it out. Some serious subject matter. You can go to professorgriff.bandcamp.com. www.professorgriff.bandcamp.com. All right. Check out Rebel Alchemy. All right. Check out the Rebel Alchemy. Hold on. All right. Let me get it out your way. All right. There we go. Professor Griff and Soleil, Rebel Alchemy. All right. We're working on that bonus track called Puppets. I got sidetracked because I'm working on this track. I can't reveal what the name is, but yeah. All right. It's going to hit you in your chest for real. All right. It's your brother, Professor Griff. All right. If you're out there and you just kind of simply read, or you pro-black, you picking out your fro, all right, whatever it is that you're doing, I wish you love and light, all right, a prosperous journey. All right, let me take this off the screen real quick. Here we go. All right, let me center myself. Thank you. All right, family, it's your brother, Professor Griff. Thank you very much for spending this hour or so with me. Really appreciate that. I apologize for not having this thing ready to show y'all. I should have had it ready. All right. Next time I'll be a lot more prepared. But this show just kind of came to me. I said, okay, well, let me make it happen. I love y'all to life. All right. October 4th, Union City at the House of Ogun. I'm dropping The Birth. All right. And this Sunday, all right, the preparedness class. Get in the preparedness class. Y'all all have my phone number. All right. Y'all can go to public. Wait. Where's this? Right here. www.publicnme.me. If you want to take the class this Sunday, my phone number is 678-557-2919. I'm going to leave that up there for a few minutes. My number is 678-557-2919. It's only $36. Of course, y'all know the 3 and the 6 is the 9. All right. All right. Shout out everyone that's vibrating on the number 7 at God Degree. Really appreciate y'all. All love. You know that. All right. Anyway, in any event, I got to get ready to get out of here. All right. So, October 4th, I am going to dive into a deeper aspect of this concept of being, showing up as your true, authentic self in reference to Code Black. Carbon, being melanated, the electromagnetic field that surrounds the earth, the Akashic records. There's certain gateways and doorways that you can't even enter unless you have melanin, unless you're black. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Keep calling yourself Christian and also other stuff that you claim that you are. Certain gateways, Liz 23, you hearing what I'm saying? Certain gateways and portals that you can't even get in unless you're black. You didn't hear what I said. The reason why I put off putting a physical book together, for this reason alone, that you would buy the book, put it on your shelf, and you will never read it. But since I am challenging you to come on out and engage in a peaceful kind of way, of course. All right. It's forcing you to read, study, listen, and engage and talk. Black Power 183. What's good with you? All right. Gotta go. All right, fam. All right. It's all love. Peace. I want to say thank you. Let me say thank you in my own Professor Griff kind of way. Can I do that? Thank y'all. Greetings, family. This is Professor Griff. I want to take this moment to thank everyone for supporting me in my efforts to raise the vibratory pitch of your thinking into your higher self. Thank you very much in my efforts right here on Serious Minds RNTV and the masses. All power to all the people. Thank you very much. If you would like to continue supporting, and if you are a new listener, please support by giving your donations right here on my Cash App, $ Professor Griff, and or go to www.professorgriff.me. Thank you very much. Peace. All power, all the people. Greetings, family. This is Professor Griff. I want to take this moment to thank everyone for supporting me in my efforts to raise the vibratory pitch of your thinking into your higher self. Thank you very much in my efforts right here on Serious Minds RNTV and Arm the Masses. All power to all the people. Thank you very much. If you would like to continue supporting, and if you are a new listener, please support by giving your donations right here on my Cash App, $ Professor Griff, and or go to www.professorgriff.me. Thank you very much. Peace. All power, all the people. Greetings, family. This is Professor Griff. I want to take this moment to thank everyone for supporting me in my efforts to raise the vibratory pitch of your thinking into your higher self. Thank you very much in my efforts right here on Serious Minds RNTV and Arm the Masses. All power to all the people. Thank you very much. If you would like to continue supporting, and if you are a new listener, please support by giving your donations right here on my Cash App, $ Professor Griff, and or go to www.professorgriff.me. Thank you very much. Peace. All power, all the people. Peace.